Michigan real estate licensing exemptions. Question 1. During a brokerage audit in Traverse City, an employing broker encounters a rule involving the usual validity period of a passing salesperson exam result. Which response follows Michigan law, while the file concerns a townhouse, a commission disbursement form, and a cooperating brokerage? Option A. 1 year from the passing date. Option B. 3 years from testing. Option C. 90 days from testing. Option D. No expiration after passing. The correct answer is option A. 1 year from the passing date. A passing licensing score is time-minus limited even though it has been reported to the application. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Course validity and license minus cycle length do not extend the score period. Question 2. A buyer representative is preparing for a license application in Muskegon. Which statement correctly addresses the usual validity period of a paid salesperson application, while the file concerns a urban infill property, a draft purchase agreement, and a rejected counteroffer after reviewing transaction document 2? Option A. 1 year from the payment date. Option B. 30 days from submission. Option C. 2 years from course completion. Option D. Until the applicant chooses to reactivate it. The correct answer is option A. 1 year from the payment date. The online application remains open for a defined 12-month period. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. A valid course certificate does not keep an expired application open. Question 3. Which Michigan requirement should control when a listing licensee deals with the requirement for a non-Michigan resident applying for a salesperson license during a renewal review, while the file concerns a subdivision lot, a branch-office inspection report, and an assumed business name? Option A. Appoint a county assessor. Option B. Establish a Michigan homestead. Option C. Open a branch office. Option D. Submit a consent to service of process. The correct answer is option D. Submit a consent to service of process. A non-resident applicant must provide a mechanism for legal process connected to Michigan regulation. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Residency in the state is not itself a condition for salesperson eligibility. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass in payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. At a property management meeting, the brokerage discusses the allowed address arrangement for a salesperson or associate broker. Which conclusion is most accurate, while the file concerns a rural acreage, a buyer representation agreement, and a security minus deposit question? Option A. Every licensee must use a storefront. Option B. A post-office box may be used. Option C. Only a broker company may use a post-office box. Option D. An out-state address automatically voids the license. The correct answer is option B. A post-office box may be used. Individual salespersons and associate brokers have more flexible address options than brokerage offices. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. The mailing choice does not remove non-resident service process requirements. Question 5. A compliance question in Battle Creek concerns the process used when a salesperson changes employing brokers. Which action or statement is appropriate, while the file concerns a single-family residence, a commission disbursement form, and a dual-representation concern? Option A. File a new pre-licensure course application. Option B. Transfer the license through the county register of deeds. Option C. Keep both employers until renewal. Option D. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. The correct answer is option D. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. Employment changes are recorded through the state licensing system. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. A deed-recording office has no role in transferring an occupational license. Question 6. How should a Michigan team member handle a situation involving the status that may follow removal by an employer before expiration, while the file concerns a small apartment building, a draft purchase agreement, and a protected class inquiry? Option A. Automatic broker status. Option B. Inactive county registration. Option C. Permanent revocation. Option D. No employer status. The correct answer is option D. No employer status. Michigan does not offer a formal license minus escrow classification for salespersons. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. That status does not authorize independent real estate practice. Question 7. Which choice best applies the state rule concerning fraud, deceit, or dishonesty in licensed practice to a closing preparation, while the file concerns a office condominium, a branch minus office inspection report, and a disputed repair credit? Option A. A required form of negotiation. Option B. A protected marketing strategy. Option C. Grounds for occupational discipline. Option D. An automatic contract amendment. The correct answer is option C. Grounds for occupational discipline. Dishonest conduct undermines the competence and trust expected of a licensee. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Negotiation does not authorize intentional deception. Question 8. A file from Kalamazoo raises an issue about gross negligence or demonstrated incompetence. Which answer identifies the governing requirement, while the file concerns a condominium unit, a buyer representation agreement, and an electronic signature? Option A. Conduct that can support disciplinary penalties. Option B. A substitute for continuing education. Option C. An exemption from supervision. Option D. A protected advertising style. The correct answer is option A. Conduct that can support disciplinary penalties. Serious carelessness and inability to perform regulated work can trigger professional sanctions. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Education and advertising rules do not convert incompetence into lawful practice. Are you looking for real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access real estate study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get real estate answer key today. Question 9. Before completing a compliance interview, which rule should the salesperson apply to false advertising by a licensee, while the file concerns a retail suite, a commission disbursement form, and a referral arrangement? Option A. A disciplinary violation. Option B. A title minus insurance requirement. Option C. A permitted team slogan in every case. Option D. A method of deed delivery. The correct answer is option A. A disciplinary violation. Real estate marketing must be truthful and comply with brokerage minus identification rules. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Deed and title procedures are unrelated to advertising honesty. Question 10. A Michigan exam candidate reviews a scenario involving helping another person perform regulated brokerage work without a license. Which option reflects the current licensing framework, while the file concerns a manufactured home site, a draft purchase agreement, and a team social minus media post? Option A. A zoning enforcement function. Option B. A required referral method. Option C. Aiding unlicensed practice. Option D. Lawful delegation to any friend. The correct answer is option C. Aiding unlicensed practice. A licensee may not enable an unlicensed person to perform activities reserved for licensed practitioners. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Calling the activity a referral does not change its substance. Question 11. The broker's policy manual addresses practicing while a license is suspended, revoked, or lapsed. Which provision should it contain, while the file concerns a 2-unit rental, a branch office inspection report, and a record inspection request? Option A. Only advertising is prohibited. Option B. The license remains active for pending deals. Option C. The person is treated as unlicensed. Option D. The employer may privately reactivate it. The correct answer is option C. The person is treated as unlicensed. Authority to practice depends on a current license in good standing. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Only the department can restore lawful status through the applicable process. Question 12. A regulator asks about failure to comply with a final board or department order during a brokerage review. Which response demonstrates compliance, while the file concerns a historic residence, a buyer representation agreement, and a branch office distance issue? Option A. A separate basis for discipline. Option B. An automatic license renewal. Option C. A fair housing exemption. Option D. A private contract defense. The correct answer is option A. A separate basis for discipline. Final regulatory orders are enforceable obligations of the licensee. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Private transaction terms cannot override the order. Question 13. Which statement would be safest for a listing licensee to follow when an owner selling the owner's property in an occasional transaction becomes relevant, while the file concerns a student rental, a commission disbursement form, and a financing contingency? Option A. Only a lender may sell the property. Option B. Every owner must obtain a salesperson license. Option C. An owner exemption may apply if the activity is not a principal vocation requiring broker licensure. Option D. The owner becomes a broker automatically. The correct answer is option C. An owner exemption may apply if the activity is not a principal vocation requiring broker licensure. Owners may generally handle their own property, but Michigan limits commercialized patterns of owner sales. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Ownership alone is not an unlimited exemption from broker licensing. Question 14. A dispute arises during an offer review over an owner completing more than 5 property sales in 12 months without using a broker. Which principle resolves the issue, while the file concerns a vacant commercial parcel, a draft purchase agreement, and an unrepresented consumer? Option A. The owner remains exempt without limit. Option B. Only a building permit is required. Option C. The transactions become tax-free. Option D. The activity is treated as a principal vocation requiring broker licensure. The correct answer is option D. The activity is treated as a principal vocation requiring broker licensure. Michigan uses transaction frequency as one indicator of professional real estate sales activity. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Tax and construction approvals do not replace occupational licensing. Question 15. In Flint, a new applicant must decide how to proceed with an owner spending more than 15 hours per week over a 6-month period selling owned real estate. Which decision is consistent with Michigan requirements, while the file concerns an industrial site, a branch-office inspection report, and a confidential price limit? Option A. The owner is always exempt. Option B. The rule applies only to renters. Option C. The activity can be treated as a principal vocation. Option D. The time is counted only after closing. The correct answer is option C. The activity can be treated as a principal vocation. Substantial weekly work devoted to owner sales can move the activity beyond casual disposition. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Closing dates and tenant status do not control this test. Question 16. Which exam answer accurately classifies the rule involving the additional pre-licensure education associated with an individual broker applicant, while the file concerns a new construction home, a buyer representation agreement, and a change of employing broker? Option A. No additional education. Option B. 90 hours beyond salesperson education. Option C. 10 hours of advertising only. Option D. 40 hours total including salesperson education. The correct answer is option B. 90 hours beyond salesperson education. Broker-level preparation requires substantial coursework beyond the salesperson foundation. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The additional requirement is not satisfied by repeating only the initial salesperson total. Question 17. A new policy is being drafted for a salesperson license application under the statutory employer structure. Which language belongs in the policy, while the file concerns a mixed-use building, a commission disbursement form, and an owner-licensee conflict? Option A. The applicant self-employs immediately. Option B. A home inspector signs as sponsor. Option C. The employing broker signs or approves the affiliation required for issuance. Option D. The county clerk becomes the employer. The correct answer is option C. The employing broker signs or approves the affiliation required for issuance. The salesperson credential is issued within an employing-broker relationship. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Independent practice is not created merely by passing the examination. Question 18. During team training, the supervising broker tests knowledge of a salesperson license as to legal form. Which answer should the team select, while the file concerns a cooperative unit, a draft purchase agreement, and an expired license issue? Option A. It belongs to the property being sold. Option B. It may be issued to any corporation. Option C. It is issued to a branch office. Option D. It is issued only to an individual. The correct answer is option D. It is issued only to an individual. Michigan treats the salesperson credential as an individual occupational license. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A location or parcel cannot hold a salesperson credential. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A consumer asks the brokerage to explain an associate broker's status. Which explanation reflects Michigan law? While the file concerns a farm parcel, a branch minus office inspection report, and a property minus management payment? Option A. A county recording officer. Option B. A salesperson with no broker qualifications. Option C. An unlicensed assistant. Option D. A broker minus qualified individual working for another real estate broker. The correct answer is option D. A broker minus qualified individual working for another real estate broker. An associate broker has met broker licensing standards but practices through an employing broker. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. It is distinct from clerical assistance and ordinary salesperson status. Question 20. Which compliance step is required when the transaction facts involve the minimum age for an initial salesperson applicant, while the file concerns a lakefront cottage, a buyer representation agreement, and a delayed possession term? Option A. At least 18 years old. Option B. At least 16 years old. Option C. At least 21 years old. Option D. At least 19 years old. The correct answer is option A. At least 18 years old. Michigan requires an initial salesperson applicant to have reached legal adulthood. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Higher age thresholds are not part of the current salesperson checklist. Question 21. A employing broker notices a potential problem involving the approved education needed before examination eligibility. Which response should occur first? While the file concerns a townhouse, a commission disbursement form, and a cooperating brokerage. Option A. A complete 90 hours of broker education. Option B. A complete 40 hours of approved pre-licensure education. Option C. Complete 60 hours of continuing education. Option D. A complete 24 hours of approved education. The correct answer is option B. Complete 40 hours of approved pre-licensure education. The salesperson pathway begins with 40 approved instructional hours. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Broker coursework and renewal education serve different licensing purposes. Question 22. The state portion of the exam presents facts about the examination provider used for the Michigan salesperson test. Which result is supported? While the file concerns a urban infill property, a draft purchase agreement, and a rejected counteroffer? Option A. Pass an examination administered by the employing broker. Option B. Pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Option C. Pass a county assessor examination. Option D. Pass only a school final examination. The correct answer is option B. Pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Michigan uses an independent testing vendor for the salesperson licensing examination. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. An employing broker may sponsor the applicant but does not administer the state examination. Question 23. Which brokerage practice properly addresses the step that produces the candidate identification needed to schedule the test in the Kalamazoo transaction? While the file concerns a subdivision lot, a branch minus office inspection report, and an assumed business name. Option A. Submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Option B. Wait until a license is issued. Option C. Schedule with SI before applying. Option D. Ask a broker to create the candidate number. The correct answer is option A. Submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Exam eligibility is connected to the online application record and verified course completion. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. The identifier is not created by a school or a prospective employer. Question 24. A licensee is comparing 4 procedures related to the employment relationship required before an active salesperson license is issued. Which procedure is lawful? While the file concerns a rural acreage, a buyer representation agreement, and a security minus deposit question? Option A. Work independently without a broker. Option B. Obtain sponsorship from a licensed individual broker or broker company. Option C. Register with a local board only. Option D. Use a title company as the statutory employer. The correct answer is option B. Obtain sponsorship from a licensed individual broker or broker company. A Michigan salesperson practices through a licensed employing broker. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Independent brokerage activity requires a different level of licensure. Question 25. At the end of a lease negotiation, the parties question the number of brokers to which a salesperson may be licensed at one time. Which statement provides the best guidance? While the file concerns a single minus family residence, a commission disbursement form, and a dual minus representation concern. Option A. Any number of affiliated brokers. Option B. One employing broker. Option C. Two brokers if both consent. Option D. No broker after passing the examination. The correct answer is option B. One employing broker. The salesperson license is tied to a single employing brokerage at a time. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Consent between firms does not create an exception to the one minus employer structure.